Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Rachel here with the Monday Angel Messages and Energy Update for the week ahead. So it's Monday the 27th of July and I've already pulled you a couple of cards, but I'm going to be doing 3 more for you whilst we're live here. So every Monday I'm doing this. I give you some reading, some cards for the week ahead, giving you the messages from the angels. We talk a bit on spiritual stuff, whatever's coming up at the moment, and give you a read for the energy. So over the weekend, I decided to do another mini reading about the pandemic. And that's because, a few months ago, I did one right at the beginning when it was here in Australia. And I thought, look, it's about time we had another couple of cards. So I used the traditional tarot for this, as I have done all the way through this situation. And I want to share them with you because they're really powerful. So I only pulled 2. And the first one I want to talk about is, now, if you're in Australia, you know that we are experiencing a second lockdown in some areas, and it's sort of numbers are going up. So this was the first card that came out about this, and it was reversed. So this is letting us know, it's the Page of Pentacles, that we're revisiting past lessons that we might have forgotten, or lessons that we might not think that we needed, or that we ignored or didn't get the first time around. So as a collective, right, as all of us together, we need to learn the lessons that the coronavirus brought with it and understand them, and really go back to the beginning and recognize that we have to act a certain way, we have to think a certain way. So I see this as being, there are basic things that we learn that we have to do to take care of each other, like go into isolation, make sure social distancing, all those, washing hands, masks, all those kind of things. And we also need to keep that going for a long time until this is completely wiped out and we've conquered it. So on a purely physical and material level, this card's perfect because it's saying we're revisiting those lessons again. We mustn't forget them because this is something that we need to learn and stick with. I can't bring everything up on close to the camera because it shuts the camera down with the light, but I will be putting these on Instagram stories and Facebook stories later, so you can have a closer look at the cards. So this is revisiting past lessons. So we can think about the physical, material stuff, about what we learned en masse, and then we can think about what we learned physically. Or what did we learn individually? So what did you learn in the beginning of all of this, or over the period of isolation and lockdown, that you maybe have sort of gotten excited and moved on, or you've forgotten about it and you're being asked to come back to it. So I really think that some of, everything that's happened has got a spiritual meaning behind it. It's got a spiritual purpose behind it as well. So there are things that we need to learn as a community, individually, that is going to uplift our lives, change our lives, stop us from falling into the holes of the past, and allow us to recognize that life is precious and that we're all one and we're all in this together, right? So revisit some of those things. Maybe look at your journals from whilst you were in lockdown. Maybe think about some of the life lessons that you got, because when we remember our life lessons, when we follow them and listen to them and integrate them into our lives, then the purpose, the reason for us getting that lesson can go away. So, it's like the cosmic kick in the butt. When we get the cosmic kick in the butt, it's because we've been ignoring our guidance for a really long time. And then we have to get something that just sits us down and says, right, are you listening? You need to listen to this. You need to take action. You can't ignore it any longer. So this is where we are with the first card, which is just generally about the pandemic. And then we also got the Tower reversed, which is the card which I call the cosmic kick in the butt. It's when something happens that is, it's like a lightning bolt. It snaps us out of our state of, maybe apathy or delusion or fantasies. It wakes us up and helps us to realize, okay, something has to change in your life. And we have to stop avoiding the guidance. So isn't it wonderful that these two came out together, because they're both giving us the same message, is that we're kind of getting a wake-up call. And we're getting a wake-up call in the way that we are acting with regard to the pandemic. We're getting a wake-up call in the way that we're interacting in the world with each other generally, and in our own individual lives as well. So maybe you felt called to make a change of some kind. Maybe you're ignoring that because you're afraid, or you're limiting yourself in some way. You don't feel like you can do it. And this is urging you again. Okay, we're giving you another chance. Here's the lightning bolt. Here's the wake up. Now, when the tower is reversed, the lightning bolt seems to have hit home, but there is more action for you to take. So things have got a chance of improving. They're already improving, but you've got to keep with the lesson. Don't get distracted. Don't get pulled off of course. So I feel like this is sort of saying, don't ignore your feelings. Look after yourself. Trust that you are being guided, that there is a higher power in charge, and that this is all going to come out okay. And all you need to do is look after your energy. Don't worry about what everyone thinks is happening, all the stuff that's out there, the commentary. Don't worry about that. Just focus on your own journey, and focus on being responsible in a way that you would want other people to be responsible towards you as well. So, in the same way that we don't kind of, speed around drunk in our cars, we also have to look after our health, and that makes sure that we're looking after everyone else's health. So these, I think, are really positive cards, because I feel like it's saying, all right, you're getting the lesson again, but it's going to pass, because we just need more and more people to come on board with this, to be more awakened, to be more awake. We're returning to our true nature. We're returning to our compassion, our empathy, our state of being able to manifest, knowing that we're connected to the universe, and that everything, everyone is equal, and that sort of caring, sharing side of humanity, instead of the rat race, dog eat dog energy. And as more and more people get with that, they start to recognize that we've got to lean on each other. We're no different from people just because they're overseas or they look different to us. So it's bringing compassion. So maybe if you're doing that yourself, you can then become a bit of a teacher or a leader for other people. So I'm going to pull us now some cards from the Archangel Power Tarot deck, which is going to give you a reading for the week ahead about what is coming up and what we most need to know. So we're nearly at the end of August, and I feel like the energy of July has been better in a lot of ways, in that it feels like there is healing happening. It feels like we're getting clearer on the path, and some of that heavy weight that we were carrying through April and May and June is definitely lifted off of our shoulders. And that's because, of the work that you're doing on yourself and on other people, your ability to send love and light out into the world. It's also because more and more people are waking up and getting that sense of community, and the sense of not being so caught up in the ego. So let's see what the angels have to say to us this week. Okay, so I'm pulling you 3 from this, and then 1 from Carl Gray's Angels and Ancestors, which are just stunning. Now, have you been noticing the signs that are coming around at the moment? I'm really getting a lot of signs from the animal messengers at the moment, like one after the other, coming through. So the more that you tune into and connect with your angels and guides, the stronger those messages will be. And it's like you open the channel and you allow them to step in. They're always there, but when you're not noticing or you're not intentionally connecting, you can't allow them to come any closer. So this has been a really big message in the last few weeks, and this is about gratitude. Now, it's a lovely card. It's called the 10 of Ariel. It's recognizing how many blessings you have in your life, and that is one of the things that has come out of the last 5 or 6 months, isn't it? Is like the blessings, the appreciation for the simple things, And, you know, when you're cut off from something that you appreciate it even more in your life. So this is really comforting you and saying, not only is there a lot to be grateful for right now, and the more you focus on that, the more you allow your subtle energy, the life force energy, to flow through your chakras and through your energy field. It's so powerful, gratitude, because it opens you up to so much more. If you are not in a state of gratitude, or you don't regularly go there, start to bring that into your daily practice, because it does so much for you on every level. It connects you with the universe. It connects you with your angels and God. And it also connects you with Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is supporting you. And if you're appreciative of that, you're appreciative of your material life, your physical life, the people that love you, the nature that surrounds you, you start to, it's like having a check in your wallet. And never, if you don't appreciate things, you never go and cash that check. So you're carrying around all this money, but you can't fully let it in because you haven't appreciated it. So when you start to show gratitude for things in the universe, it's like you cash the check. Things start to flow into your being more. You're receiving them by being grateful. And it activates your energy. It's really super powerful. But it's comforting you, because it's saying not only is there a lot to be grateful for now, there is a lot to be grateful for coming up. So the angels are bringing my attention to there being a lot of fear around, especially around the material world. Now, we've gone through all the fear about health, and the fears, that we've lived through this year have been really quite intense. And now the fear that seems to be the highest is about finances, work, and job. And that's natural, right? It's all stuff that's affected our base chakra, our security, our feeling safe. And on an economic level, it seems to be affecting us too. But what we have to remember is that each of us has a unique connection to the universe. So nothing can interfere with that unless you give it your attention, unless you give it your power. So if you believe, okay, I'm not going to have much money coming in because of this and because of that, then you're actually closing the door that the universe wants to bring you money through. So if you can say, okay, there might be stuff going on in the world. There always is stuff going on in the world, always. And it's true to say that some people make a lot of money during depressions and recessions and things like that. So we know that it's available. And if we don't attach our reality to saying this is going to affect me, we can say, okay, that's good. That's going on out there. I pray that it's going to change. But I am going to own my power, and I'm going to say that I'm unaffected by this. And that the universe is still finding ways to bring me abundance, to bring me clients, or bring me a job, whatever it is that you're looking for at the moment. And gratitude kind of oils the wheels for that to happen. So remember that you have a unique connection between you, your crown chakra, and the universe. And so nothing can interfere with that unless you let it. My goodness, we had this card recently, right? So this is obviously a reading this week. Is about our finances, our material life, and recognizing that we're safe. If we realize that, we understand that, then we are. It's like you've got to, it's not that you've got to see it to believe it, it's you've got to believe it to see it. So this one, the Six of Gabrielle. Do you remember we were talking about the completion of a cycle, coming to the end of a project and being ready to move on to the next thing? But we can't move on until we have let go of those things that are attaching us to the past. So this is so strong and so up right now, isn't it? And this is, I mean, there are 78 cards in this deck. What are the chances, and I've used it several times since last Monday because I do readings all week long. What are the chances it's going to come up in the guidance position again this Monday? So it's not a coincidence, it's a synchronicity, it's a nod from the universe. So it's saying you've done a wonderful job so far, but there's more for you to do. You can do better. You can lift your vibration. Now, chuck me a heart if you know that deep down in your gut. You know okay, I'm doing all right, or it's a bit messy right now, but I know I can do better. I know I can do better. And this is what this card is saying to you. You can do better. Now, there are things that are depleting you, dragging your energy down, parasites in your energy field, maybe tears in your energy field that mean that you're not in complete control of your own vibration and your energy. And so maybe you're overly attached to someone who's been negative towards you. Maybe you're overly attached to how someone's treated you badly. Maybe there is stuff in your past that you just are still gobsmacked about and you you can't quite get over it. That's okay, but you need to now cut those cords. You need to let go of that because it does not serve you to keep holding on. Now, what's going to happen if you hold on is that you get one of these, the lightning bolt, that sort of plants you on your butt and says, you have to make a change. You can't keep on ignoring this. And sometimes those lightning bolts are quite painful. So what do you need to release before you can move forward with onto the next project? What's interfering with your well-being? What's interfering with your vibration? I've just written a blog this afternoon about the 3 blocks to manifesting and how to release those, and how to recognize them and change them. Unblock yourself. So there are blocks. This is really what this is saying. There are blocks in the way. But you've done a great job. You're not... Please don't go into, I'm undeserving because I've had problems. You know, I've had problems. Does that make me undeserving of a happy life or a happy relationship or abundance? Just because I've had relationship problems, because I've had some crap happen in my life? No, it's given me wisdom. It's given me deeper compassion. It's helped me look at life in different ways. But it hasn't in any way affected my soul, and neither has it affected your soul. So just because you have problems doesn't make you a small, no good person. It's just part of life. If you expect to land on this planet and not be challenged in some way, then you're dreaming. Right? It's all part of it. It's all part of... Now, it doesn't mean that we have to have non-stop drama and pain. That's not true at all. But sometimes those big problems have big lessons at the core of them. And really, this is what this card is about. It's like, how do we close the circle on this? How do we finish it off? Well, sometimes we've got to let go. Sometimes we've got to get the lesson. And then the circle closes and off it goes down the river. And we move on to our happier next step. So that's your guidance. Now, this one is the outcome. And this is really ultimately saying everything happens for a reason. Let it go, because there is treasure waiting for you. And in this card, we've got the woman. She's unpacked her presents and there's nothing good in them. It's like she's had 4 dates and they were all awful. And now there's another one over here. And this could be her soulmate, right? So it's saying you can't focus on the past, because what will happen is that you will just go back there energetically. And the problem with the past, going back to it energetically, is that it's dead energy. It's not got anything for you. There's no treasure there for you. The treasure is in your present moment, and you need to clear that completely. So the angels are right there. Archangel Raphael is right there in this, saying we are here to help you. And that's the thing to remember, is that we're not doing this by ourselves. We have to ask for spiritual help. That's what our angels are there for. They aren't there for any other reason but to be your helpers, to guide, protect, and to help you with healing, and to steer you away from things. Now, you have free will. You have the choice to listen to that guidance, to accept that help, that protection, or to just ignore it completely. No one's ever going to, you're not going to be struck by lightning because you didn't listen, but you might become a victim of your own consequences if you don't listen to that higher guidance or your own intuition. So this is saying happiness is waiting for you. So isn't that wonderful? It's really giving you some clear guidance. Now, the card we pulled from Kyle Gray is Be Brave. It's the knight in shining armor. And he's holding the sword, which very much refers us to Archangel Michael. And he's got the red rose over his shoulder there. which is, you know, I always link that with Mother Mary, divine love. And it's asking you to dig deep and find your courage, find the bravery within you. It's easy to go for the low-hanging fruit, isn't it? It's easy to go for gossip, to be jealous, to feel like everything's against you, to be suspicious, to think negative thoughts, to go into, you know, into your ego. But this is saying, don't do that. Find your bravery and be completely open and honest. If you came to the Angels and Guides webinar last 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, we did a clearing. The angels did a clearing on your throat chakra, and the throat chakra, that release, it was about speaking your truth, being honest with yourself and other people, being completely authentic. Because if you're not authentic, your vibration is just going to be off. You're going to be attracting things that don't match, that you aren't right for you. You know, you've got to be completely true, and you've got to completely own your energy field. Don't try and be like someone else. Don't copy people. Just be who you really are. Find out who that is. But also find your courage, because that is, you know, that's integrity. And that integrity is a very fast attractor of spiritual help and abundance. So I really like that. It feels like, okay, there's some hard stuff, but there's also enormous blessings. And this is, life is now. We're in this moment. We can't avoid it. We have to be in this present moment, and we can still find the blessings. Okay. Now I saw some messages a little bit earlier. Excuse me. Jo says she came under psychic attack on Friday and responded with love and forgiveness and cut the cords. That's great. So did you feel better for that? Because you're going with your higher self instead of your ego, hey? Yeah. Selena goes to bed every night thinking of how grateful everything she's grateful for until she falls asleep. That's beautiful. Guidance has been frequent. Yeah. So whatever you're going through at the moment, and all of us are going through our own stuff, and they're usually at the moment they're big life lessons. And know that, okay, sometimes it feels like an emotional and energetic desert. It's just like you just keep slogging on, but you will come through it. And when you feel really pressed down, that usually means that you're in a period of spiritual growth, and there's something amazing coming on the other side of it. And if you're not, you know, if you're having struggles, one of the best things that you can do is try to be of service to other people in some way, in a way that says, doesn't say, what's in it for me? You know, give of yourself in some way that feels good. And you can even ask the angels to give you opportunities to be of service. And that will not only help you feel wonderful, but you will, you know, attract enormous blessings for doing that, because you're putting aside your own ego. You know, I think one of the things that affects and infects people the most is being self-obsessed, being obsessed with our problems, only being able to think about ourselves, whether it be positively or negatively, is something that is unnatural, really. But there's a lot of people that are in that state, and it can make you very paranoid. It can put you into all kinds of energies that don't feel good. So the only way out of that is to ask to be of service, and angels and the divine will find ways. You know, maybe they'll put a person or an animal on your path that you can help, and from a selfless place. And that really not only lifts you up, but it's changing the world. You know, I think that's what those first two cards were about, is that we're learning lessons here. They're not just about us and what we can get, you know, what we're manifesting and why are these awful things happening to us. It's about us, all of us together, being of service and recognizing that our fellow human benefits from our love. And I saw a meme the other day, and all it said was, all you need is love, like the Beatles. And I'd been talking to someone who was unemployed and was worried about money, and I thought, that is all we need, is love. Because if we could trust the love that is out there, we would know, not just from the universe, from the angels, but that our fellow human had our back, right? We wouldn't be worried about these things so much if we felt that community love, right? So we have to start somewhere with ourselves, I think. So I'm sending you loads of love and thanking you so much for being a part of this. Look out for my blog, which is going out this evening in a couple of hours, which is about 3 ways you can unblock yourself when you're manifesting. And that's because I'm doing a manifesting 5 ways to manifest with the angels in August, which is the next webinar. It's a 90-minute webinar, which will of course have a guided healing meditation. We're going to be doing cord cutting, and we're going to be doing some activating of your energy to raise your vibration so that you can manifest those things, because there's so much to teach on that subject, and it's powerful when you can claim that energy yourself and you really look after your energy frequency. So bless you, loads of love, and I'll see you next time.